The Obama administration is taking a victory lap today over a Supreme Court decision that upholds a key portion of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. Despite repeated challenges to the law by Republicans in the House and Senate and a second Supreme Court case questioning the constitutionality of the ACA, the court ruled on the side of President Obama's signature health care law. At a press conference earlier today, President Obama said the Affordable Care Act is here to stay.
This morning, the court upheld a critical part of this law, the part that's made it easier for Americans to afford health insurance regardless of where you live. If the partisan challenge to this law had succeeded, millions of Americans would have had thousands of dollars worth of tax credits taken from them. For many, insurance would have become unaffordable again. Many would have become uninsured again. Ultimately, everyone's premiums could have gone up. America would have gone backwards. And that's not what we do. That's not what America does. We move forward. So today is a victory for hardworking Americans all across this country whose lives will continue to become more secure in a changing economy because of this law.
RT correspondent Manuel Rapolo was outside of the Supreme Court earlier today for that ruling and brings us the details.
Implementation of the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, will continue as planned. This was the ruling today by the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court ruled 6-3 in favor of the IRS continuing to allow tax credit subsidies for low-income Americans who would otherwise not have health care. Now, this is the second time that a portion of the health care law has made it to the Supreme Court, and not everyone is happy with that decision.
We should not have a national health care system where the government and the managed care organizations work together to limit our choices in health care, limit our choices in insurance, limit our choices in treatment decisions, and really interfere in the exam room. That's what Obamacare does. Obamacare is a takeover of not only the insurance system, but also the medical delivery system.
Now, today's ruling is, however, an encouraging victory for those who are advocates of the law. Take a listen.
ACA, USA, ACA.
This case never should have been taken up by the Supreme Court because the law was clear, but it's very gratifying that they ruled that this law is going to be here to stay, as the crowd here is saying. And that's very important because more than 10 million Americans already have benefited from the ACA, and it's saving lives.
6.4 million people across the country who've been able to afford their health insurance thanks to the tax credits under the law. And their health care really would have been at risk. And so we're really thrilled that this will help them continue to afford that preventive care, afford regular ongoing annual medical care, and care for chronic conditions without risking bankruptcy like so many had in the past.
This affects me personally because it gives me peace of mind. I've been in a situation before where we didn't have health care, we didn't have access to affordable health care, and my husband was diagnosed with cancer. And it's a big deal for us, and I never would want any family to ever go through that situation. And I'm glad that the ACA is here to stay, and we will keep working so that everybody, every family, wherever they live in the United States, can have that same peace of mind.
Now, as you can see, it's certainly a big day for many Americans. In court, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the majority opinion continuing to uphold the constitutionality of the ACA. Now, that decision today affirms that 6 million Americans across 34 states will continue to have health care coverage. Manuel Rapalo, RT, U.S. Supreme Court.